Good morning, girls. I'm Dr. Kiran Deshwal, and today we will continue our story, Birthday. Let me sum up in brief what we read in our yesterday's video, which I have shared on our WhatsApp group. In this story, the author is talking about his birthday, how he spent his day, how miserable his day was when he had not any money, when he was helpless, when he was in despair, when he was upset, but somewhere in deep down he was hopeful, and how he shares his feelings and the events which happened on that day. So we know that when he was talking with his friend Gangadhar, at the same time, the landlord arrives, and here we have the conversation between the author and his landlord. The landlord asks, "Well, mister," the cold voice of the landlord said, "can you pay up today?" So we can know that it's a bolt from the blue. We know that he doesn't have any money, how he will pay on that very day. I said, "I haven't received any money yet. I shall pay you one of these days." But he was not prepared to hear any more excuses. He was thinking that he is pretending, but he was not prepared to hear any more excuses. The landlord thinks that the writer is pretending not to have money. He says that, "What is the use of living like this? Why are you living at all? You should not live like this." He asked. That was true. It was true somewhere. What is the use of living like this? The author asked to himself, what is the use of living like this if I don't have any money? It is some 3 years since I first came into this building. I had the three kitchens repaired. Each of them is now facing a good rent. Now that I have made this fourth storeroom fit for habitation, he tells me there are people who would pay a bigger rent for it. It is not enough if I agree to pay a bigger rent myself. I must vacate it. So we know that a man is ambitious, and the landlord is also ambitious. He wants to rent the room to another person who will pay the rent regularly. He is annoyed with our author because the author doesn't pay rent regularly, so he wants a customer or a tenant who can pay up regularly. No, I'm not prepared to vacate the room, and the author doesn't want to vacate his room. We know that it's a clockwise description of the events of that particular day of our author's birthday. So it's the time 4 o'clock. I'm tired of this country. We know that he's tired, he's hungry, he's thirsty, he's upset, he's sad. I am tired of this country because he is not happy with the government, and the government is not happy with him. There is nothing in this town to attract me. Everything distracts him. He has lost interest in things in that particular place. I see the same roads, the same shops, the same faces day after day. As a writer, he wants change. He wants to see change in the environment, in the system, in the society, but it is as usual. So he is helpless. He said, and hear the same things. How fed up I am. So life has become monotonous for him. I cannot write a word. He is unable to write anymore. And it's 6 o'clock, it's evening time. But you are when you torture yourself, when you undergo a terrible suffering, after that you rejuvenate yourself with some hope, and the environment helps in this. So the evening is beautiful, and we know that nature has the healing power. Whenever we are sad, the beautiful scenes of morning sober us, console us. Similarly, the beauty of evening also consoles us. A beautiful evening, the setting sun was like a blob of blood swallowed by the sea. The western sky was filled with golden clouds. We have beautiful comparison here. The clouds, golden clouds, the sky is filled with golden colors. The ocean seemed shoreless because it seems limitless. Nearer the rippling lagoon, its shore was so peaceful. There is peace at the shore of the sea. Young dandies, young people smoking cigarettes were promenading there, and young ladies dressed in gorgeous saris were hanging out there with glancing looks and shy smiles on their faces. We are resting there. So it's a beautiful place, and people come here to rest for some time and for the peace of mind. So we know that our author is restless. There is no peace in his mind. That's why he comes here and he looks around him, the people and the beauty of the nature. One could hear heart-easing broadcast songs from erotic films. The gentle breeze carried fragrance from flowers, but I was almost fainting because he is tired to the limit. It's 7 o'clock. A policeman came to my place and took me along with him again. We know that he is an activist, and at that time, to be an activist was not that easy. Every time policeman chased him, they are after him. So a policeman comes and takes the author along with him. I was asked to sit before a dazzling Petromax. As I answered the questions that were put to me, the deputy commissioner was walking up and down. He was interrogated because he was an activist, carefully observing the expression on my face. He never took his eyes off my face. So we can know that how miserable our author is. He faces the grimy looks, the angry looks of his landlord, of the hotel keeper, and the CID and the policeman. I was questioned for an hour. So interrogation of an hour is very torturous, especially by the police, and when the police is of not our country. Who are my friends? Where do I get letters from? These are the questions which the writer had to answer to the policeman. Who are my friends? They asked him about his friends. Where do I get letters from? About his correspondences. Am I not a member of a secret organization? About his links. He was asked about his links, which seeks to overthrow the government because the government wants stability, and it's his duty to eradicate such things or people who can create hurdle. What new things have I been writing? He was asked about his creative writing also. The writing must not be like that, which can create horror in people. I must tell the whole truth. You know that I have the power to exile you. Again and again, the police, the landlord are threatening him, are warning him to exile him. I know I'm quite helpless. So he finds himself in a situation of helplessness. If a mere policeman takes it into his head, he can arrest me and put me in the lockup. So he is not safe. There is a feeling of insecurity. 7:30. It's 7:30. I return to my room. The author returns to his room, sat in the dark and perspired profusely. He is sweating. No light in my room today. There is no light. How can I get some kerosene oil? And there is no kerosene oil in his lamp, and I must have something to eat to abate my hunger, and he is hungry. For the whole day he is wandering, but he is hungry. Who will give me food? This is the question before him. I cannot borrow from anyone. No, there is no borrower for him. Suppose I ask Matthew. Matthew is his friend, so he decides to take some money from Matthew. No, I will borrow a rupee from the bespectacled student who lives in the next building. So he decides, he sends the idea of borrowing from Matthew, and he decides to borrow some money from the bespectacled student who lives in the next building. He had spent a lot of money on injections during his recent illness, but finally it was with my 4 anna worth medicine that he was cured. So, out of gratefulness, he might give me some money. That's why the author thinks to borrow some money from the bespectacled student. In return, he once took me to a cinema show. So I think that he is kind, he is very kind. So I should borrow from him. If I went to him and asked for a rupee, would he refuse? This is the question. Would he refuse? Because I have helped him in his need. So he will also help me in his need, but in my need. But the author is ignorant that selfish people do not pay up again. 8:40. It's 8:45. On the way, I inquired about Matthew. He had gone to a cinema show. Hearing loud conversation and bursts of laughter, I went up to the upper story of the other building. The smell of cigarette smoke, the light of a gas lantern. Students are sitting there and they are having conversation and they are laughing. I sat in a chair, the embodiment of helplessness. He was a symbol of helplessness which can be seen on his face. They continued their conversation. They were talking about national affairs, the cinema, descriptions of college girls, the names of girls who change their saris twice a day, and so on. I joined in and gave my opinions on all these. We know that whenever people sit together, they talk about their daily routine, the people with whom they are connected. So here we have a light social chit chat. Meanwhile, I took a piece of paper and wrote a note, need a rupee, very urgently, shall return in 2 or 3 days. Just then the bespectacled fellow laughed, to whom the author is writing. What are you scribbling? The plot of a short story or something? They know that he is an author and he might be writing a story or the plot of a story. So he asks him this question, that are you writing the plot of a story? I said no. The author replies that no, I'm not writing the plot of any story. Thanks for watching. We will be continuing our next video.